Mikee P back on the Money Media YouTube channel, Harness Players Podcast, because we have Hambletonian Oaks and Hambletonian Eliminations this weekend. We just finished the audio, so this past weekend, Edison and I were there, but we have Thomas Svensen here with us because always good to get Thomas's opinions for the Hamble Oaks and the Hambletonian, and he's going to be busy on Saturday, so we wanted to bring him in today. Thomas, back from a stint in Vegas, do you have any money left?
Yeah, I did okay. I got a third with in a big tournament. I got 25K, but 5 weeks out there, I had a couple of min cashes and one more final table. But 5 weeks in Vegas, it's a long time.
Well, hopefully you have a couple dollars left to bet these eliminations. Edison Hatter, I don't know what you're up to. You told me, but I forget.
We've been losing plenty of money. I think what's the good old Dave Ramsey theory, the beans and rice diet? We're going to start saving money somewhere. But no, looking forward to this weekend. I've been busy a couple of weeks, right? Plainbridge with Spirit of Massachusetts, obviously through the Adios to the Meadows. Now on to the Meadowlands, Hambletonian Eliminations, Hambletonian the week after, 21, correct? Entered in the Oaks and 19 in the Hambo. So looking forward to two pretty good editions of the race this year, and fingers crossed for hopefully good weather. You know, I've been out watching some tennis tournaments here in DC this week, and it's been some beautiful weather. So hopefully we can get some of that for Hambo week.
And we're going to be live this Saturday. We're going to have a live stream on this network. You're going to be live on site, and we're going to look at some of the Hambletonian Oaks and, of course, both Hambletonian eliminations. So I'm thinking we're going to be on around 8 o'clock, maybe a little bit after 8 on a Saturday night for the live stream. And, of course, if you're interested in getting some questions to the drivers, Edison's going to be live on site, so he can, maybe doing some interviews for the connections for these entrants. And how can they contact you for? They want them to respond to this thread, this pod? Do you want them to email you? How do you want to get the questions?
Carrier pigeon, please, and a fax number. I'll provide a fax number. But looking forward to us being live. Races 6 through 9 on Saturday. It's a pick 4 sequence, includes the last Oaks elimination. So we've already had the first 2 Oaks eliminations, and it'll be both the Hambletonian eliminations. And the comment on this video, wherever you're watching it, on X or YouTube or whatever, find me on X at Edison_1999_ or text, email, whatever you want to do. Send me any thoughts you need about these drivers or trainers or any connections, really, and we can ask away. And for sure, we'll hopefully catch some of the big names, especially those first 2 Oaks eliminations, which I'm sure we'll get to discussing. I think really the 2 favorites, I think it's fair to say, if you looked at it going into the race now, are going to be in those first 2 races. So we'll for sure talk to their connections, win, lose, or draw in their elimination. And I'm sure we'll catch a couple of other interesting sound bites too as we go.
Well, we're going to look for this podcast. We're going to dive into those first couple Oaks eliminations because we're not going to be able to go over them. They're going to be done by the time we show up on Saturday. And then we're going to get some opinions from Thomas for the remaining eliminations for the Oaks and for the Hambo for this card on Saturday night. So race 1, they're starting right off the bat. Hambletonian Oaks, and it's 3-year-old fillies here. 21 entered the box for this Oaks this year. And this looks like the favorite to me going into the final. It's possible here, Jailbird Jog, who's been awesome in her last 2 starts, coming from off the pace and ripped 26-3 back on July the 11th in that Del Miller. And then, showed a nice turn of foot again, 26-2. She's fast. She's very capable from off the pace. And Thomas, to you, what do you think she does in this elimination? And do you think she ends up the favorite in the final?
I think definitely she will be the big favorite in the elimination. In the final, we'll see after the eliminations. But I think like James have been handling Jailbird Jog, James McDonald, the brother to Anthony, so good. Like we know Anthony likes to be like little aggressive, and James has been like almost like teaching her a little now to come back off the gate. He have a little bad post also, but been racing her off the pace. This time with the elimination and the winner gonna drew 1-6. I think James gonna be a little more aggressive. Only 7-horse field. I think after the first quarter pole, I think Jailbird Jog is gonna be going wire to wire in this elimination.
Edison, to you, there's others in here. Lainey has come on and she's getting shares in some of these races. You have horses like Carve, horses like Madame Cheval woke up not too long ago. So Do you think any of those can threaten the favorite?
Threaten, no. Exacta-wise, I would take Carve. Kind of leave it at that. Look, Jailbird Jog is clearly the one to knock off here, and I think, like Thomas said, probably is going to be a little closer this time. But when it comes to thinking about a big money final and a big stakes race, it's really nice to have that versatility, right? I mean, you saw what she did in the New Jersey Platinum Series back on June the 5th in that effort when she got to the top after the quarter and then rolls in there. I think that's probably what you do see in this Oaks elimination. I agree with Thomas, but if she has to do it point off the pace, she's done it perfectly fine in the last two. So she's been impressive however she does it. I think Carve, though, is the one who also can show some speed early, maybe hang on for the piece in second underneath. And I will say, Mike, this is great. I love taking the easy way out. You asked Hambletonian favorite in the final or the Oaks final favorites. How about this? This is directly from the Meadowlands press release today. So go blame there if you want to place blame. Marcus Melander trains Nezuko Kamado, race 4, the filly, who as of now is the Oaks favorite. There you go.
Well, a couple others in here, and I want to ask Thomas because you have the big barns. You have Svensen shows up with all-time trot. Now, that one really has been getting checks, but having a hard time finding lengths versus the top one. And then you have Per Engblom has another one here with Days Away. Gets hopples for the first time, comes out of a quick race, did close up a little bit last time. So do either one of those two have enough to jump in, maybe make the final? We've had some upsets in Hambos recently.
Yeah, it's like I also think Carve can be like a player there. Laney W always raced good. Only had 4 races in her this year. I think Grit is the horse I don't think have a good chance to go to the final. The other ones can with a good scenario and a good trip. I think all of them can be top 3 almost. They're Days Away. Yeah, she needs to step up her little game. Madame Cheval is always up there if she can get a trip. But it's all about Jailbird Jog in this race. And I think, like I said earlier, James going to be aggressive.
Race 4 is the second Hambo Oaks elimination, and we have 7 more going to the gates. And you have Nezuko Kamado out. The aforementioned one that Edison just said that I guess she's the favorite looking towards the final. And she's been ultra tough. I mean, 10 for 15 lifetime. She handled her Del Miller stake there on Meadowlands Pace Nights. 15-1. 15-1, Thomas. Do you think that she's going to do it again? What's your take on her? Because she always seems like she cuts it close.
Yeah, Nezuko Kamado, I was like high on her last year. I think she's 4 for 4 this year, but it's not like I feel that she has been like winning those races without like that. I think that I don't like her when they cut the mile with her. And I talked with Scotty and I talked with Marcus Melander about it too. She's so much better if she have a helmet and can come from off the pace. It's going to be exciting to see what Scotty do in elimination. I know also they are thinking about pulling the shoes, but I think it will be if they go to a final. They don't going to pull the shoes in the elimination. And it's like she's going to be 1-9. Maybe 1-5 in this race. Do I going to try to beat her in elimination? I think I'm maybe going to try to see if I can beat her elimination because there is a couple of horses I really like. Like we know that just see the replay last time for 7 Emma's Mystery CCL. She was flying home from the post 10, post 9, the race before that. Only 7 horses. I think Emma's Mystery CCL, if she can get a trip, and if it's going to be like a slow half and like that, I think she is maybe the fastest on a sprint going home. Like Storybook Love, she haven't been like the same horse this year that she was last year. And Fratina Diablo has been racing good in little cheaper races. But I definitely think Emma's Mystery CCL is the value play.
Edison, we know what the favorite is so far this season, but it seems like this is the time, like Thomas said, maybe time to bet against her here with the final upcoming. And, of course, everybody's looking towards that.
It's kind of funny. I kind of think it the other way around. I think she'll probably end up on the lead as she has in the past. She might be better from all pace, as Thomas said, but I think she probably inherits the lead at some point early on in the race. I think she probably wins the elimination just by default of just kind of the way they go around. I actually will probably plan to beat her in the final. I really don't necessarily love her in general. Here in the elimination, again, just given the way the race I think shapes up, it probably falls to hers to win. But I will say Emma's Mystery CCL to me is very fascinating. I agree with Thomas. That last effort really impressive from kind of an impossible type spot. But what will be interesting to see is, if you didn't want to take 60-1 last time, now you're going to get 9-2 morning line. Might very well be the second, third choice here. So, that good old funeral thing, whatever, once again comes back around. So, again, that's the two that I look to. But we'll see how short that she might be at the post after the recent effort.
Yeah, different scenario though. You can't really expect 60-1. I'd be curious to see what she does go off, especially if Kamado is short again. If she's 1-5, there's going to be plenty of money to go around elsewhere. So I think you could get 7-8-1 maybe on her, because the 2's going to take money. I do think Storybook Love will take some money in here. The fact, she did win that Breeders' Crown last year, and this year has been a struggle, but she's a known name in a race. And I'm not so sure. Guys like us are looking at the 7, but the average person looking at the program, I'm just not so sure that the 7 takes a ton of money here. No thoughts. Okay.
Hopefully you're right.
I
don't know you will be, but I hope you are.
All right. So we'll be on live on Saturday for the rest of these eliminations, but I want Thomas's take on the final Oaks elimination and then the Hambo elimination. So race 6, we have the third elimination and probably the most wide open one here, Thomas. You have Set Your Sights High, who was a fantastic 2-year-old and 2 straight wins coming in, but you see some ones on the page. So how are you looking at this elimination?
I'm a big believer in 6 Custom. She is not the best gated horse, but I think she have the pedigree and the class to be a player and also the final. I talked a little with Per Engblom because I asked him earlier, because I went with him to the France Sweden game in World Cup, and I asked him about Custom and if he was going to race with no shoes, and he said yes. And then I texted him yesterday, and he is going to race with no shoes in elimination for the first time on 6 Custom. So that's super good information. I think that would clear up her gate, especially from because she interfered very much. So especially from when the gate leaves, I think she could be a little more aggressive. It's a wide open race. This one, Set Your Sights High. I haven't been super high on her this year. She's been winning a couple of races where I haven't been super impressed. She's going to be bet because it is Milander done. Victoriano Secret has been crushing, and we know that when she was racing in the Oak Row Oaks, she was just second behind Jailbird Jog, who's maybe going to be the favorite. So she definitely going to be a player. Southern Shaska has been no good, and then she shows up last time in the last turn. I was sure she was going to be dead last, but he pulled the plugs. That was the first time she had air plugs, and she answered very good when Timmy pulled the plugs on Southern Shaska. She's 5-2 morning line. If she's going to be the favorite, I definitely going to try to beat her, because I haven't been impressed. Okay, she did come home good last time, but that's the only race she's been doing. And then we have Iceland Girl Hanover that I like, but Smedsummer from post 7, 12-1. If you go to the final, he is happy. 5 Leading Lady. It's not the best gated horse either, but she definitely is up there every time she is up against the field. It's a wide open, but I'm going to take aim for 6 Custom.
So I know you like to play the pick 4s, the pick 5s, and you start to pick 4 in this race. If you're betting here, would you be heavy 6, or how would you structure tickets?
Now I will depends how the rest of the card sees out. There's a Hambo and there's a Tompkin Gears, and there is a Hambo. I think I'm gonna have a couple of tickets, but I'm gonna maybe value my money at least 50-60% on 6 Custom, and behind her I'm gonna have Victoriana Secret on at least some money, and Southern Shaska. It's the 3 horse. I think I'm not gonna have so much money on Set Your Sights High. I'm not a big believer of how she's coming into this race. She's 2 for 2 the last 2 races, but it's not like I've been super impressed.
Thomas, talking about Custom, you get any insight? What's with the gapping in the races? Skip the Miller, didn't go to the Zweig, didn't come back around for the Tompkins Gears, and then qualified actually last week. Did you have any insight into the time off?
Nah, she's not maybe the soundest. If I'm gonna I was not that's the only question mark I maybe have it. I was not super like confident seeing the qualifier. It's not like she was not flawless. She had shoes on, but I hope like now maybe did some wet work on her and gonna pull the shoes. I definitely gonna have an eye on her in the warm up. She's not like the perfect horse warming up either, but when I heard no shoes on custom, it like with her gait that she interferes so much, but she also need to be a little better than she was in the qualifier.
Well, let's go to Hambo eliminations now. Race number 7, Hambletonian 101, and we have 20 horses that signed up to actually 19 that signed up for this Hambo for 2026. And a couple of the big heavies are in this first elimination, Thomas. You have Apex and Endurance, also American Power, drawn all right next to each other. They're all going to get after it here and then maybe separate themselves looking to next week.
Yeah, the 3 horses that is ranked first, they got 7, 8, and 9. So how we're going to see this race, some going to be like, if we take Practical Man, he is entered to the Hambo. He is not entered in my scenario when I try to analyze the horses. Captain Naughty, I really liked him last year when I saw him on the Red Mile. I saw like a horse that I had in my notes, and then he was too crabby down there in Lexington. Coming back this year, he's in Engblom's barn now, and it was a decent sneaky qualifier on Captain Naughty. I really, really like that horse. But do I think he can win elimination? No, but I think he can go to a final. 3, Inexpressible is a beautiful horse, nice pedigree. It was flying, come home good when he was third there when there was a sprint race in the Stanley Dancer. He won the Yonkers when everybody was it was not a good race at Yonkers, but that horse can definitely be a player. Highland Destiny, I haven't been impressed by since he won the cheap overnight races and the PA Sire Stakes. 5 are done. I think he was overrated last year. I think Megan Scoren did an amazing job with him. This year he was baby very much in the first race. Then the owner moved him to Aki, made a break. Was not super happy with his qualifier. He got beaten 10 lengths by Captain Naughty. It was not like he was picking up anything on the home stretch. Sex IE is a New York horse. So like, it's not like I'm super high on 1 to 6 without Captain Naughty and maybe Inexpressible, but Apex is the horse to beat. I think he is much better if he have a helmet, but he struggled a little on the last turn. He is cleaning up a little compared to last year. And he is the favorite. I think also Endurance, in my opinion, is so much better when he can chase a horse and compare when he went in the lead in the Dancer, and it was like loose line coming over the finish line. American Power is maybe a horse I had never been high on him. Like last year, grabby, the problem for the drivers. It was almost like a big bulldozer, like heavy in the mouth. This year, Melander have done an amazing job with him coming back. He looks better to drive for them. James has been doing a good job. Does I think American Power win the Hambletonian? No. Then I'll be like, okay, he won the Hambo. I move on. But I think Endurance is maybe a value play, but Apex is the favorites. I'm going to be almost. I think I'm going to have a lock on 2 horses on the pick 4 with Apex and Endurance.
Ed, to you, quick thought here. I know we're going to be live that night, but I mean, this is the 3 heavies here. I mean, these are, these could be 1, 2, 3 favorites going to the gates for the final. I mean, it's really, these are the 3 buzz horses. The fact that they're drawn outside right next to each other, does any of them miss the final?
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be the interesting thing, right? Not only are they all drawn next to each other, they're all drawn at the outside 3 posts on the gate. So, I mean, I guess American Power for me is the one. If I had to pick one that I don't necessarily love of those 3, it's probably that one. Apex and Endurance, I think, are kind of the top 2. And I think most people would probably agree with that. Otherwise, I agree with most of what Thomas said. I think Inexpressible's there as well. I mean, in general, I think you kind of see, based on the morning line expectations, kind of the 5 you expect to make the final and then the ones that you're looking not to make it. But at the very least, I would say, I don't know, what do you give it, like even money or maybe even 3-2. That inexpressible Apex, American Power, Endurance, they all make the final. I mean, on paper, they might be 4 of the best 5 in the race, but, with posts and breaks and everything else that happens, you figure probably somebody might miss out on the party, right? But I think, and this will segue into the next race, Mike, a big question mark to me is, and I'm kind of fascinated, and listening to Thomas talk, I was kind of peeking ahead to the next race. Big Ranger is the morning line favorite in that second elimination. Clearly not the stronger of the 2 eliminations, but is Big Ranger really with, look, we've been proven wrong enough, right? On the Norway exists. I mean, sometimes that Midwest form gets overlooked, but can he really, based on that Ohio form, what can he do here? And of course, we saw what happened when he was 4th a couple starts ago there too. I believe was it Endurance who won that race? Yeah.
My question is for this race, and I want to go back to Thomas real quick on this because, I mean, it's an elimination, yes, but the fact that all 3 are in here. I mean, who's really trying to win this? Because I mean, you could get stuck in the 10-hole in the final. I mean, this is no joke here to be in an elimination that I do think means a lot. So the Endurance being drawn to the outside here, I do think hurts him. Do they duck him? I mean, are they really they doing their best to try to win this race? Apex I think gets the best of it. He seems more versatile to me. So I don't know. This is a race that is difficult to gauge.
It is, but it is also like, I think Andrew is going to be a little aggressive to like at least drop in, because there is some horses who here is entered that he don't want to have close to him because he don't want to have them a helmet from them. So he need to be a little aggressive and at least hope he can get either go to the front and let the Apex maybe go, or drop in as a 3rd or 4th or something with Endurance. I wouldn't be shocked if Endurance. The only question mark I have with Apex, I love Apex, but I want to see him horse with a horse eye to eye the last 116 or 1/8.
Final elimination for the Hambletonian, and we have 10 drawn in here, and the aforementioned Big Ranger, like Edison mentioned. This one's streaking 11 for 13, a lifetime, a couple blowout wins at Scioto. He's ready for the test. He gets to face Diabolic Hill, who obviously has plenty of talent, made $500,000, lacks a win though so far this year as a 3-year-old. And Thomas, you have Spencer Hanover in here. There's just a ton of question marks. Horses with lots of class, but lots of questions.
I need to have a discussion with the Rallis here, because he have 10-1 on Spencer Hanover and he have 20-1 on Wolfpack Crown. Have you ever seen a more misleading morning line? It should be like 6-1 and 99-1.
Very
in my opinion. So what can we say about it? I'm looking forward to see Big Ranger. I'm do, and like Annette have had him for couple of months now after he got moved from Ronnie Gillespie. He's off Lasix. It's always a question mark. I think it is maybe a more question mark in the final when they go week to week. I love Big Ranger. It's the first time on a mile track. It's also a question mark. He is my favorite. But this race here, I have a feeling that I've seen a video that Melander posted that he trained Spencer Hanover on his half home. And it was only a 10-11 seconds video, but Spencer Hanover looked flawless. It looks like Marcus have been, hey, Spencer, you need to wake up. We're aiming for the big boys now. So it's going to be exciting to see Spencer Hanover, because he haven't been, the qualifier was just okay, and he haven't looked good. When he won the Empire Breeders' Classic, I don't think he was good that race either. And then he had 2 races where he made a breaks. He's going to be a value play, because this race here is not like super high class, in my opinion, to be a Hambo. The post winner is it could be worse with Teeter again. If he can protect the rail, or at least come to the front after the first turn, he can maybe steal this also, because like Minoan is just going to drop in, Kingman is entered, he's going to drop in, Nick Snackson is maybe my value play. If I can say that if Nick Snackson can get a trip like Tactical Approach did for Scotty C, Nick Snackson can win the Hambo, because he is super fast, but he is not the smartest horse. He needs to have a helmet and use his energy. But if they go to the front with him, and sometimes Dexter is just a passenger, so then it's going to be a long home stretch. Rakeem, he don't benefits of off a mile track. I think he benefit more of the smaller tracks because he's decent gate, good gated, but he's not the biggest horse. Magic Punk, it's not a big horse either. I always said that Magic Punk is a Norwegian owners on him that I know. I always said he will benefit more of a 5'8" to make more money. He definitely, I know Yannick going to put him in position. I also think the home stretch will maybe be a little too long. Diabolic Hill, yeah, what can we say about him? He's been struggling a little around the last turn. He did it up in Swag and Vernon, didn't he didn't get close to American Power before it was too late. There's so many question marks in this elimination here. Big Ranger, my favorite. Spencer Hanover, the value play. It could be worse, can steal the elimination. And I also wouldn't be shocked if 5 Nick Snackson will get a helmet and just show up if you have the best day.
What kind of price do you think it could be worse is in here? Because I feel like he could get lost in here, especially when you have the Spencer Hanovers, the Nick Nackins, the Magic Pumps, the Big Rangers, the Diabolic Hills. I know this one's 4-1 morning line, but he's got to be higher than that, doesn't he? I mean, I think that he's the one that I sort of won in this race. Like you mentioned, he can steal this race. He's going to be a better price relative to some of the other ones in here. So he was sort of the one that I thought maybe had possibilities.
Yeah, I agree. And we know that Big Ranger are going to get money. Diabolic Hill always get money. And we know Nick Snackson, since it is Dexter and Marcus, always get more money than you expect them to have and maybe what is worth right now. I think Spencer Hanover is also going to be a value play because people is forgetting. It's like not Dexter, it's Jason. He is coming up just a qualified 2 breaks. He's 10-1 morning line. There is some value plays in this race. I'm definitely going to be 4 or 5 deep in this, but I'm a big fan of Big Ranger.
Oh, Edison, are you a big fan of Big Ranger? Because you were talking about this one kind of leading up into the lead into this race. I mean, off Lasix, lots of questions to answer. He's fast. There's no question about that. But is he this good?
You're going to have to shut me up at some point because we're going to save all this for Saturday. But
okay.
The short answer is no. No, I'm against Big Ranger, to be honest. I mean, it was Oak Grove. Here's ready to jump in to defend Oak Grove, but it's Oak Grove. It wasn't the Meadowlands. It wasn't the mile track. Whatever. Oak Grove Derby elimination, but still, it was well enough beaten there by endurance. And beyond that, we really haven't seen him against these big type horses. Now I get it. On the Norway just came to Meadowlands and it's proven he belongs against you. So again, I'll happily shut up if I'm proven wrong. But I don't love him in the spot. If he beats me, he beats me, but I'm totally against him. And I'm not even convinced he is the favorite. I think they still might go back to Diabolic Hill here. I mean, I know they're the top 2 choices in the morning line. But I think Diabolic Hill might be favored. I don't know. Maybe people, you see all the time, Mike, people love those ones in the form and those big wins. So maybe it is Big Ranger, but yeah, no, I'll happily let him beat me. You know what? I said it on Yonkers Trot Night. I said Spencer Hammer is going to win the Triple Crown. I guess that's off the table after the break, but I'm going right back to him. It's in our group chat, and I've got to call Thomas out on it. That I said Spencer Hanover is one of the Hambo, and Thomas now calling value play after he said that. Edison, where have you been for the last 3 races? Spencer Hanover looked terrible, so now he's value.
He haven't been looking good, and the qualifier was so. But then there was a video Marcus they posted when he trained him, and he is like a. What can we say? It's not like he is like the Spencer is not like when I saw him as a baby. If you have seen my notes as a baby on Spencer Hanover, I said boring, no speed, nothing. And then he wakes up last year. This year he haven't. Maybe this is the time for waking up. That video was good, and we know Marcus. He knows to have them ready when there is money on the line. That's why he's gonna be the trainer of the year 2026.
I need to wake up and win $1 million. That's what I need to do. We can debate it
Saturday longer, Mike, but I will say for Spencer Hanover, a differing opinion for me on the Empire Breeders' Classic. And to be fair, I'm biased by the fact that, drivers, connections, they usually want to spin things positively. But Bartlett was pretty confident to me that although the win in the Breeders' Classic didn't look that flashy, he said that he was very happy with it. And it just, it is kind of interesting. I think Bartlett's choice words to me was that he's a horse who he doesn't necessarily think likes to win flashy per se and was kind of waiting on a horse or whatever. Now, of course, he won the race before by 8 lengths, so I'm not sure how much that quite holds up, but I bought what Jason told me. And like I said, liked him going into the Yonkers Trot, then you see the break, and then obviously the break last time out. But and I think I also do Thomas, I thought the last qualifier looked pretty good. So I'm satisfied enough with where we are.
the only thing we know, and this is a hard race to like, the only scenario we know that is Yannick going to leave with Magic Punk.
Very possible.
Definitely going to be aggressive with Magic Punk, but Diabolic Hill, I don't know if I can like go to the window on Diabolic Hill if he's going to be one of the favorites. That's my like. I haven't been super impressed this year. He's 0 for 4, 3 seconds. It's almost like he don't want to win. It's like 10-horse field. It's maybe Scotty just going to steal this, but it could be worse. Like he's definitely going to get either be close. He can be in the 2-hole if they're gonna leave like hard with Magic Punk or Big Ranger. It's definitely going to be our interesting Hambletonian elimination too.
Yeah, fascinating Hambo this year. Of course, we're going to be live Saturday nights, so check the network and live streaming Edison on track, and I'll be there. We'll see if I'm sure we'll have a Ray Catolo visit. There'll be some other people around. We'll get some connection interviews and some connection thoughts on the day, and of course, we'll reference some of Thomas's opinions also. But I appreciate you guys coming, especially good to have you here, Thomas, to get your opinions. And I'm sure we'll be talking to you next week when these finals come around. Edison, of course, we'll be seeing you on Saturday on track, and hopefully the people can join us there. Until then, I think we're ready to wrap, and we'll see you all next time.